Hello, everyone. This is the show Making a Difference, and I'm your host, Jon Heymann. I'm excited to have a fantastic guest with me. His name is Brian Neese, and he operates a really cool nonprofit called Lumen Rep Theater. Very artsy and very needed in the city of Jacksonville. So, Brian, great to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about Lumen.
Well, Lumen Rep is the idea that we need a professional regional theater company in the greater Jacksonville area. We haven't had one until late 2021 when we founded Lumen Rep Theater. And we feel that every vibrant, thriving, relevant cultural landscape on a metropolitan scale needs a professional regional theater company. And so we're trying to fill that niche.
Well, I think it does fill a niche because a great city has to have cultural enrichment, and this certainly will do it. You are different than others, though, because you pay your folks instead of it all being volunteer. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Please explain that.
Yeah, so there's lots of theater in Jacksonville, actually. In fact, one of the oldest community theater organizations in the whole nation is here, just down the road in San Marco. And yet, most people don't realize that the vast majority of the theater in Nashville and in Northeast Florida, the actors, the directors, the designers, they're all volunteers. And so they get off their day job and they go and try to make some art. And there's some fantastic stuff that comes out of that. We believe that in order to retain artistic talent, in order to free culture to be at its best, you need to pay the professionals who are training and developing and trying to make a vocation out of this thing. And so we have great universities around like JU and Flagler and FSCJ that have great arts programs. We have great high schools with great performing arts programs. And yet those students, when they graduate, get that degree, get that initial training, they have to go somewhere else in order to get paid to do what they do. We want to change that here in Jacksonville.
So you can take kids right out of Douglas Anderson High School and employ them in some capacity? So tell me what Lumen actually does. I mean, theater, you said theater, so it's not painting and sculpture.
Right.
It's theater.
It's theater.
So you're looking at
So we're talking about
musicals.
Plays, musicals. We very much believe in original work as well. So in our inaugural season this last year, we developed 2 original pieces of work. One of them was a world premiere. So we do scripted work that's done by others, traditional stuff, Shakespeare. We did Shakespeare. Of course, we did that in craft breweries, so it was a little bit of a different vibe. Shakespeare, yes. And we're going to be bringing that back this next season as well. So we produce live performance in various venues, and we pay the actors, the directors, the designers, the stagehands, the technicians, the box office people. We pay the people to do the work to make live theater happen.
So you don't have your own theater. You use existing theaters, is that correct?
We don't have our own space. We have a rehearsal space in offices, but we perform around in other spaces.
That's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat business concept. Now, you started this only a few years ago, is that correct? 2021?
End of 2021.
So this is not your full-time gig.
No.
But it's a nonprofit that you created for all the reasons you just described. Is that correct? Okay. What brought you to something like that?
Well, I've done this before. 20 some odd years ago. As a young professional artist, I founded a small professional theater company with a team in the Southeast, in Nashville, Tennessee. And when I moved to Jacksonville temporarily almost 15 years ago,
Temporarily.
Yes. I finally got the hint that I was going to be here. And so and not just me, we have a great team of people. Kristen Livingston, our executive director, and Josh Andrews, who helps out, one of the founders. We've got a great board of directors who have come around this idea of, hey, Jacksonville needs a professional level, equity affiliated nonprofit theater company. And by the way, equity affiliated means that
I was going to ask you, go ahead.
Okay, we're in a working relationship with Actors Equity Association, which is the union for professional stage actors and stage managers in the United States. And we're the only one in Jacksonville. I hope we're not the only one for long, because the more organizations that are in a relationship with the union of Actors Equity, that means more actors, more stage managers, more artists are being employed and paid for their craft.
So in order for you to pay the people, where are you getting, you're a nonprofit, where are you getting your dollars? Where are you getting your support?
Well, you're writing a check after this. But yes, fundraising is a major part
Yeah.
of it. We have, as I mentioned, a fabulous inaugural board this season. We are still growing that board, and if anyone is interested in participating in that way, we are looking for some additional board members. But grant writing is a big part of it. However, we're still in our first 3 years of existence, and many grant-giving agencies want you to have a longer record there.
Yeah.
So corporate sponsorships, individual donors, and season subscriptions, ticket sales right now are how we are paying
Okay, I was
people.
wondering about ticket sales. That's got to be able to support you as
Oh,
well.
yeah. And people, there's a little bit of sticker shock, I think, with our shows this first season because in Jacksonville, in the Northeast Florida area, people have been so used to community theater prices.
Yeah.
Paying for people who aren't being paid
Right,
in order to
right.
see. And when we're trying to pay people, our ticket prices are going to be not quite Broadway level, but if you're familiar with the FSCJ Artist Series that travels through the Jacksonville Performing Arts Center, those are traveling professionals. But we have local and sometimes brought in national professionals who we're paying, so we have to be able to pay them.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Well, I wish you all the best. So I would consider you an entrepreneur. You started this, right? Yeah. Even though you have other adventures that you're doing that pays your bills personally. Yes. You started this, you have paid people working on staff, you have theater, you have productions, you have all the rest of that. So my last question to you is, what are the main ingredients for an entrepreneur?
I would say fighting for your why. As you begin something, people get excited, and there's lots of ideas on how to do things, what to do, and in the minutia of all of that, you can sometimes lose sight of your why. And not only remembering your why, but fighting for your why, and in reminding others of why we are doing this, generally always gets you back to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Of what you need to be doing, how you need to be doing it, if you tie that back to your why.
That's fantastic. Fantastic advice for anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur is fight for your why. First of all, discover your why. There's a famous book, I think, that says Start With Why by Simon Sinek, I believe. And that's a great book to read for any of you who are wanting to be an entrepreneur and start a nonprofit, or have started one and you're trying to build it back up. Well, thank you everybody for being here today, and thank you to Brian Neese from Lumen Rep Theater. You'll see some of the information to get a hold of him and the organization if you want to help either fund it or be part of it. That would be fantastic. And don't forget, you can see this episode and all the others on dailynewsnetwork.com. Have a wonderful day.